that Observer, which could possibly delay an Immortal if he wanted it, so that sucks. I do want to mention Overlord speed is on the way, as well as an early armor attack, the upgrade for the Hydras, and as well as a Roach Warren and another Evo Chamber. So again, IdrA just macroing like crazy. He's going to be getting everything in the book at this point, and he has so many drones. Just taking a look at all of his bases, he has so many drones right now. It is absolutely out of control. It's got to be up to WhiteRa to either expand or to make a good timing attack.
59 probes over 48. Income showing 1,700 per minute over 1,200 per minute. WhiteRa is quickly getting outpaced here. He is at 81 supply, whereas IdrA is at 92. And I think, yeah, if he makes a push right now, he might be able to do some damage, but I don't think so, because at any point in time, IdrA can switch from making mass drones into mass roaches and hydras. And that's the real threat of a Zerg player. Now, WhiteRa is interested in grabbing this expansion. What we saw when IdrA played against Noni was IdrA snuck some speedlings and canceled, forced to cancel on that Nexus. So, will we see that this game? I'm not sure. It's tough for a Protoss player to cover both the natural and this third expo.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that IdrA actually didn't have those Zerglings waiting behind this mineral line. It works perfectly. The map really favors doing that, but he didn't decide to do it this time. Probably just forgot. But look at this, an infestation pit already on the way. Talk about crazy fast macro and teching here from IdrA, which I think WhiteRa is very wise to take this expansion to try and keep going pace for pace. What is this Colossus doing in the center of the map? He will kill these Zerglings. They are going to bust through his shields, though. Not sure if that was worth it there for WhiteRa. I really don't know what he was doing there. Very dangerous, especially if those Hydralisks happen to be there. But he was able to kill those Zerglings, and that is going to make using the Colossus that much more easy. And there we go. We are getting the more upgrades here for the... actually, wow, he's continuing to get constant upgrades. I don't know how he's able to do this. I mean, his macro is so crazy good that he is able to get the units he needs to survive while basically just teching to everything in the book. Going to be getting the infestors out, and just he's crazy macro, man.
152 supply over 107. That is pretty darn crazy for a Zerg player. Already up 50 food over the Protoss. Now, we're not seeing that Overlord drop abuse that we saw when he played against Noni. We're seeing a much more standard Roach Hydra kind of build. This pylon's going to get taken down, and this is a pretty menacing force unless WhiteRa can get a good position when the battle occurs against IdrA.
I was going to say he actually needs 2 robotics facilities, which one is just now finishing. And the army discrepancy here is just really showing how good he is at macro. I mean, WhiteRa is playing pretty standard here. It's not like he, you know, totally blew anything. He didn't lose too many workers or anything like that. It's just showing that IdrA loves macro, so you really have to punish him in the early game. This is going to be a big challenge, and we talk about that crescent on the bottom right side. Look at this, IdrA taking another base. This is going to be very devastating here for WhiteRa. I hope he can get out enough Colossus here. He's actually only making 1 right now. He needs to be making 2. There it is on the way right now. He's going to have a very difficult time, especially if infestors do start appearing out on the map.
Oh my goodness, IdrA now at 177. He is near maxed. His upgrades are showing 1 Carapace, 1 ground, and there is another missile coming on the way as well for the upgrades. Meanwhile, WhiteRa is at +2 weapons, so he's not doing too far behind in terms of upgrades. And WhiteRa is actually thinking about grabbing his own Crescent. The difficulty, of course, is Protoss players don't have the benefit of having speed creep, and so their forces are much more immobile versus Zerg players. Now, WhiteRa, I think IdrA's going to have to make something happen here, as he really can't allow the Protoss player to grab a 4th base.
WhiteRa's actually getting a Void Ray. That's pretty random. What he really needs is those Colossus. But the Infestors, once they pop, it's going to be very, very difficult. We are getting Neural Parasite researched right now. Recent patch made it so you had to research that mind control. But it's going to be ready by the first big battle. So really, WhiteRa's going to have to be careful. He's going to want to force field those Infestors, keep them out of range of the Colossus. And so I'm kind of curious the army size. Yeah, look at this. IdrA is already maxed. He's supply blocked, but it doesn't matter because he's maxed. I don't know what the timer is in this game, but that has got to be one of the fastest max armies I think I've ever seen. It's going to be difficult. I mean, basically, it's IdrA's move here. He's even taking the high yield. He is expanding like crazy. He is going to have a maxed out army, and we were talking about how a maxed out Zerg army is much smaller if you go those roaches, which he did do a very heavy roach army. So is he going to be kicking himself in the teeth for going this many roaches? We're going to find out, but he's letting WhiteRa catch up to him in macro. I'm kind of confused as to why, but he does have the army advantage.
You cannot let WhiteRa go up to 200 supply, but it doesn't matter. WhiteRa is just going to push in and cancel this gold expansion. And, oh, wow! IdrA's not going to do anything. He's just going to let that cancel. Even though he had the creep speed bonus, he could have attacked. And I think why he waited is because his infestors, at least some of them, don't have enough energy, perhaps. And it's going to come down, pretty much this battle's going to come down to if IdrA can get his infestors in position to mind control. Now, it's important to note that there's a lot of roaches and hydras. That's going to make it difficult for the infestors to get in range unless IdrA can split his forces and doesn't just 1A, 2A. He really needs to come around the backside. Now, here comes the engagement. There are 3 cannons. Is the Colossus going to get mind controlled? I think so. Force fields going down. They are going to block the Colossus. Great force fields.
Oh my god, this is out of control. This is such a one-sided slaughter fest. Holy smokes. WhiteRa did that absolutely perfect, eating up those roaches. No problem. Like we said, your army size is so much smaller. WhiteRa, man, he is raging right now as he's got to move down here. He blocked off that mind control like we talked about. There is, oh, the Colossus ate up the infestors. Talk about a hero. Colossus just chilling out by the watchtower. And here comes WhiteRa. He is pissed. He wants to get this into a 3-2 matchup. Can he do it? We are about to find out.
Yep, both army sizes now even. That is because the Zerg player was able to macro up very quickly, but now all the infestors have gone down and new infestors will not have enough energy to mind control. So I do think this massive Colossus army, War of the Worlds, is going to take this game to the house, but there are 4 infestors on the way. They don't have enough energy to mind control. Oh. There are 2 corruptors, however, but there are enough stalkers to deal with that. I think we might be seeing a pretty quick GG here from IdrA. It probably is going to be a 2-3 in favor of WhiteRa, and we might see a game number 6.
The fungal growth not that effective against these higher tech units. Usually you want those on the zealots and sentries. But look at this. Oh, IdrA leads without GG! Oh, this is going to go to 3-2 in WhiteRa's favor. Oh, IdrA is so pissed off right now, I can tell you. He had the army advantage. He played that game exactly how he wanted. And WhiteRa's just like, no, I'm going to force field your face. And he walked away with a very convincing win. I am freaking out right now, man. We are going to go on to game number 6. Oh, this is out of control.